One. Hey everybody, Car Ray Rob. This is Ray.
I'm Rob.
And today we are breaking it down.
Yep. Will we want to see it? Alright, obligatory it jokes aside.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see this trailer, but I'm not ashamed to say that I was like scared to death of this miniseries when I was a kid. I watched it one time and I've vowed never to approach this ever again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. You know, I know they're making this 2 parts, which makes sense. It's a long book.
I was actually wondering about how they were going to handle that.
Yeah, they're doing 2 different movies. One of them is the kid years, and one of them is the adult years. In fact, it's like I read online the subtitle for this is like It Part 1, The Losers Club, because that's what the kids are called.
But isn't it supposed to kind of be like interwoven?
Yeah, and I'll be curious to see how they handle that. You know, I'm a big Stephen King fan. Sure. I love his writing. I think he's a really talented storyteller, and a lot of his movies that take place in multiple time periods do that. You know, there's interweaving, whether it's flashbacks or whatever, and the fact that they're not doing that in this, I think I'm not sure if it'll hurt or help the storytelling as far as film go.
Maybe they are, but it's just not super blatant. Like maybe it's
possible. We'll see. I mean, I haven't heard anything about the adults being in this at all.
Really?
I don't even know who would be playing them if they are. But we'll see. But I will say, Stephen King's movies have not always been the most adaptable.
Yeah, you're right. The horror movies haven't always been huge hits like you would think like the books are, right? Like comparatively to the books, they're not. And why do you think that is?
Well, I think part of it is Stephen King has this really amazing ability of understanding the human condition and putting that into the written word. And I feel like a lot of directors and screenwriters have a hard time encapsulating all of that in a short period of time. I mean, this book is massive. It's over 1,000 pages long. So there's a lot of...
That's why I've never read it.
Well, yeah. But that's what makes it so amazing, is because he takes his time, and with movies you can't necessarily do that. Right. So you look at something like Pet Sematary, which if you've read the book, then you can appreciate the movie because of the subtle things that you may not necessarily understand if you didn't read the book. Even something like The Shining, which is held in such high regard as a film, but Stanley Kubrick strayed so far from the source material that a lot of people, including Stephen King himself, hate the movie because of that. But I love The Shining. I think it's great in its own right, but just compared to
as an adaptation.
Right, exactly. So I'm curious to see how they handle it. I really am.
Yeah, and so I don't know. So it kind of worries me though now that I know it's 2 movies.
Yeah.
Because the interweaving is something that I think is kind of what shows you that humanity and stuff. So we'll see. Pennywise is a scary SOB.
Right.
So I'm interested to see how that's going to come across. I mean, horror is different now. It's like we've been so exposed to horror movies. I don't know if you can be scared in the theater anymore. And I just remember being so scared of it that I'm interested to see if I'll feel anything when I watch this.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how they handle the horror aspect of it. Again, a lot of Stephen King's horror adaptations kind of focus on those scares of being a horror movie that they lose some of that that depth. So that's what I'll be curious to see how they handle this trailer. Absolutely.
Well, let's check it out and find out.
What we got.
This is Georgie.
Go. She's all ready, Captain.
Thanks, Bill.
Aww. Right there. That looks done. It's made a paper kid make another. Come on.
Scary.
Terrifying, no.
There's not
Yellow scare there.
any time I've ever been in before. people die or disappear 6 times the national average. And that's just grown-ups. Kids are worse. Way, way worse.
Some balloonage.
We all float down
I saw something.
One thing you'd never see me
It
do.
was this.
Clown. Yeah, I saw him too.
Look. It's all connected by the sewers. That's where it lives. What happened? Bill?
Scary.
Bill, if you'll come with me, you'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too.
Okay. All right, Rob. So, I'm a self-proclaimed not a big fan of horror movies.
Yeah.
And I'd seen the miniseries when I was a kid. It scared the hell out of me, so I never saw it again. So I was expecting something here to really try to get me hooked, and I'm not sure if I saw it.
Yeah, I feel like they really modernized the horror aspect of the book, and that's really what this teaser
Which
trailer
maybe
is.
was what I was scared of.
Yeah, but I feel like they still kind of went more for those like cheap, seat jumping scares than something that's really going to stick with you. At least how this trailer portrayed it.
A lot of times, the stuff that I remember from the 90s miniseries wasn't the seat jumping horror. It was just like, it was just this terrifying figure that was here when you look that way and here when you look that way. But it wasn't like, everything wasn't just to scare you. It was just like, he was terrifying.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's what you think of
What's
Pennywise.
They used a lot of Pennywise in this trailer, which isn't surprising. He's the iconic visual figure from It. He is It. So, I mean, it makes sense for them to do that. There's a lot of... He's more than just the clown, so I'll be curious to see how
Right.
they handle him when he's not just the clown. But this teaser really focused on that aspect.
Yeah. And again, I don't know. Some of the things, there's some things that there's a couple iconic, I don't know about iconic, but there's some stuff they took right from the miniseries, which probably took right from the book. I don't know. I don't read things that long. But, it's funny because I remember, there's some things that they're using as jump scares here that weren't necessarily jump scares back then. So,
Right.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting how they use him. I mean,
You're talking about the sewer scene,
the
right?
sewer
Where-
scene,
where with
yeah.
the boat, yeah.
That wasn't necessarily a jump you're out of your seat scary kind of scene before. But
Right.
we'll see. I just, in my brain, he's an iconic, like, very scary thing. Like, he's in my nightmares, and I don't see that watching this show. It looks like run-of-the-mill.
Yeah, they kind of, I felt, with Tim Curry, because Tim Curry played Pennywise in the miniseries,
Yeah.
there was a creepiness to him.
Right.
I mean, and Bill Skarsgård is creepy as Pennywise, but I do feel like his overall design lends more to just scary.
One of
The
those
things with Stephen King is the horror isn't necessarily in the jumps.
Right.
It's in the subtleties.
Right.
And that's really what most adaptations of his work fail to capture. That's why, I mentioned it in the before segment, most of them, in my opinion, are unsuccessful in capturing what he has written
And
on
that's
the
what,
page.
because it's with a book, it's like the scary part when you're reading is what your brain is like adding to the words.
Right.
What your imagination is adding to words. Both in the movie, you can't do that most of the time because they're showing you, so much. So
Right.
it doesn't always translate. A great horror book doesn't always translate. And like, I feel like when you're doing those, try to make people jump out of your seat scares, you're gypping them of even the chance to like just get scared on their own. You know what I mean?
Well, and one thing, this is actually a standing thing for horror movies with me. I think if I see a horror movie that can make you jump without sound, they really have something. You know, it's really easy to get somebody to jump in your seat.
And you crank the volume to
right,
11.
Exactly, and something's jumping. That's kind of cheap and it's easy.
Yeah.
If you can get somebody to jump out of their seat without sound, you've got it. And you know, I think a Stephen King property could do that, but a lot of times I don't think they let them do that. I think they do kind of take them to this kind of place, and I'm hoping that, you know, maybe again just a teaser.
Yeah.
We'll see more in the real trailer.
Still got
this
a
is
couple
just trying to
months.
hook those, you know, hook the original fans in, maybe, you know, get some of those horror fans, but there's not enough of the story in there, I feel like, at this point to get fans.
What'd you think
really
about Just
excited.
Kids? Because I thought the acting looked good.
Yeah,
But I'm sure
it's
about the
fine.
overall story.
No, I agree completely. You know, one of the aspects that I mentioned before is, you know, he's really great at interweaving time periods, and it really helps, you know, one time period lends to the other, and you're cultivating the characters simultaneously.
Yeah, it gives you backstory to the future and the past at the same time.
Right, exactly. And this, I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. So I get it, you know, they pulled it apart. You're getting the whole kid section first, then you're getting the whole adult section. I mean, it can work, but I don't know if you're going to get the depth of character that you would get reading it the way Stephen King intended.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
We'll see.
All right, everybody. Now it's your turn to write in the comments below what you're thinking about it. Is it scary that me and Rob are giving it credit for? Are we missing the boat here? Let us know.
Also, hit that like and subscribe button to catch all of our upcoming videos.
Till then, this was Car Ray Rob. I'm Ray.
I'm Rob.
Ventura.
Yes, Satan? Oh, sorry, sir. I thought you were somebody else.